What are you hearing from younger people? I'm curious who are living in the community.
It's funny because even with the whole team takeover thing that's happening right now,
Oh yeah.
there's so many opinions about it, right? Everybody has an answer. I don't have an answer, but what I will say is, um, as a parent, I can't tell my child what to do or how to do something if I'm not setting the example on what that looks like. And so I think it's so easy to um, just not think about that simple concept of, you know, um, a lot of these young people, their parents aren't even fully capable of really being a parent, right? Um, when I think about my childhood, my father wasn't really present in a lot of ways. He didn't really know how to do that, right? So for me, I always wanted to do the opposite, right? I wanted to be present for my children. And that looks like a lot of different things. You can be present, a lot of, recitals and, field trips and all these different things, and then just being there, right? So I feel like, and even when I grew up in North Lawndale, I'm very adventurous. So I used to just go do a lot of things, right? I play baseball, play sports. I rode my bike to different communities, even though that was a little dangerous too back in the day. But it never stopped me, and I never felt like I didn't have anything to do, especially in the summer, right? If you say that you're bored in the summer, then you really need to look at what you view as, fun for yourself, because there's so many things to do in the summertime, right? So it's like, what? But I think ultimately, too, you can, as a teenager, still enjoy the city and have fun without being destructive, right? And so, no matter what people are trying to say about the teens and they don't have things to do and this and that, that might be true in some cases and depending on the neighborhood, but also you can still enjoy the city without wrecking it either. So I'm seeing a lot of teens jumping on people's cars and doing all of that sort of thing. Like that's nothing to do with being bored. Like that's just, you understand what I'm saying? So it's just like,
Yeah.
there has to be balance, and it's just like if you want to be able to go to the lake, which is a public place, and just enjoy being at the beach without cops standing there blocking you from doing that, then don't be destructive, right? So it's just, and again, for me, that starts at home. Like, it's just how you parent and how you want your children to be a representation of you and your household. And when that's lost, then our teens are going to be lost. It's important if we had like a bowling alley in North Lawndale. It's important if we had like an arcade in North Lawndale. Like we don't have those things. They're big right now on home ownership, which I think is very important. They're big on health, which I think is very important again. But it's like I'll go crazy if I don't have anything in my neighborhood. There's a lot of youth programs. Don't get me wrong, amazing youth programs. Some that I've even worked at before, who are doing amazing things. But again, those teenagers and those children, their parents know about that. They're bringing them there, right? You got to show up to these community meetings. You got to know what's happening in your community. You can't be upset when you're like, oh, they're buying up all the stuff. Like, well, come learn about what's happening so you can be intentional about what's next for you and your family. But you get a lot of that. Teens feel like we don't really have a lot in our communities to keep them occupied, I guess they would say.
So not as many like sort of hangout spaces or
No, no. It's interesting what people view as hanging out. Like I've never was one to like stand on the corner and just hang out. Like weird to me. Like if I had ops, they'll know where I'm at. Like, it's just like, what's the point of that? Like I want to go somewhere, especially in the summer. Like I don't want to be in my neighborhood in the summertime. Like I just don't. Like the city is way too big for me to just be standing on the block. Like I never understood it. It's the most absurd thing in my opinion.
This is a good segue into a podcast you have called the Fatherhood Podcast. Tell me a little bit about that and what inspired it.
Well, I have two daughters, um, Grace and Olivia, 11 and 8. Yeah. Um, I think that originally inspired it. I really wanted to have conversations with fathers um, who either had great relationships with their kids, or some who didn't, right? Or some who had strained relationships with their children's mother. I really just wanted to shed more light on fathers in general, in a sense of we can get the light can be dimmed in a lot of different ways. Sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously, right? And it's like we're just as important as the mothers, you know. And at the same time, it's not a competition either, right? I want to create something where we're not on here like bashing women or shaming mothers, you know. I really wanted it to be constructive in a way where if a father who's a guest on a show has a terrible relationship with his children's mother, right? Giving them, you know, pointers and different, you know, things to do to sort of try to improve that, right? And we're constantly working on if you are intentional about it and if you have a certain love for your children, you should be always constantly trying to improve that and develop that. But yeah, so I'm excited to get the ball back rolling on that. Obviously, I had to take a hiatus because of the short film and everything that took. But next month we're back rolling, so I'm excited about that.